something that came to mind for me is what we call dukkha in yoga. And dukkha is that principle of suffering. And it's a little bit of a big gloom and doom word. And I invite you to more think about it as suffering, as in we're frustrated about something, we're impatient with something. Those are probably emotions we kind of experience more or less on a daily basis. And why it connected to me today was because I'm a singer and a choir singer by heart. And I learned sort of in the past few days, the near-term future for us choir singers isn't necessarily going to be all that rosy, meaning it will probably be a much longer time than we all think until we can all get back together again singing, because of that aspirating nature of our art form. And that kind of was the first time I really got a little bit of a blow from all of this. And so I'm working a little bit today with dukkha, as in that opportunity to work my way through whatever is coming up for me and trying to position myself a little bit different towards these emotions coming up. And just a little bit of a reading from Rumi, which speaks to me with regards to dukkha. The dark thought, the shame, the malice, meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. Right, and so with that, I have set up back here our little, I always like to draw a healing card or an oracle or intention setting card. And I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to bring it back and reveal what it is. So, and maybe this is something that works for you tonight. It is crossing bridges. It's time for healing, connecting, mending, and releasing. Maybe that is or that isn't something you want to take with you on the mat today. So let's begin our practice in a child's pose. And you can choose if you come into a wide-legged child's pose or if you have your knees closed. We'll reach the arms out. We bring the forehead onto the mat. And just take a moment here and connect. See, connect back to how you came to the mat tonight. Leaving the day as it was outside for now. And leaving thoughts about later or tomorrow outside for now. And just really checking in with yourself. What do I need right now? What's coming up for me right now? And then as you're here in your child's pose, the palms of the hands are flat on the ground. You spread your fingers nice and wide onto the mat. The shins, the tops of the feet are connected on the earth. Take a moment and swallow. And then on your next inhale, imagine you're drawing the breath in through the hands into your body, drawing it towards the center of the body and the back body, and then releasing it out again through the arms and the palms of the hand. And then we draw an inhalation in through the tops of the feet and the shins all the way into the legs, along the back body. And release that breath back down into the earth. And the next breath you draw in simultaneously through the hand and the shins, washing the breath along the back body. And releasing it back into the earth. A couple of more rounds of breath like this. And then on the next inhalation, rising up onto all fours, hands and knees. Finding a tabletop here. Taking a moment, looking between the knees. Can you see your toes? Maybe straightening the tops of the feet out a little more. And then draw your awareness to your tailbone. As you inhale, the tailbone moves up and out. And the heart arches down, gaze goes up. And on the exhalation, beginning from the tailbone, rounding the spine, pressing the earth away with the hands, and tuck the chin to the chest. Keep going here, following the flow of your own breath. Taking it however slow, however fast you would like to take it at this moment. Inhaling, curling fully out. And exhaling, curling fully in and rounding. You can stay here in this movement. Or on the next exhale, if you like, you can join me in pressing the tops of the feet into the earth and slightly lifting the knees off the mat, or lifting them actually all the way up and lowering back down. Playing with that. It's a bit of an unusual movement for the tops of the feet. We don't stretch them out so often. It takes a little bit getting used to. You can also, if you want to, you can also tuck the toes under if that feels better to you. Finding that rounding and lifting of the knees here. Keep going 2 more times like this. Shoulders relax away from the ears. The neck can be nice and long and loose. Maybe Ujjayi breath is starting. Then we find a neutral table. And on the next inhale, we send that right leg long. The toes are tucked on the floor. Press a little bit through the heel here, create some length. Inhaling, send the gaze forward. And on the exhale, tuck the tailbone in, round the spine, and then lift the left knee into the nose. Lowering down on the inhale, curling up. And on the exhale, lifting knee to nose, curling in. One more time on this side. Left knee lowers down, the right knee comes next to the left knee. And we switch sides, inhaling, the left leg goes long, tucking the toes, pressing through the heel. Inhale, looking up. And on the exhale, rounding the spine, lifting the right knee into the nose. Lower down. Inhale, send the heart forward. And exhale, round it and knee to nose. Making your breath as full as feels good to you. Lowering the right knee down, lowering the left knee down next to it. And then here we walk the hands forward a little bit so we have more space between the knees, walking the knees back a little bit between the knees and the hands. As we inhale, we shift the weight forward, sending the heart out, relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. And on the exhale, sink back into child's pose. And once more, inhaling, coming forward, just going back and forth here a few times. Along the entire length of the spine. Going back between flexing and extending the spine. Creating some space between the vertebrae. Maybe also through this movement and the breathing, beginning to maybe shaking some things in our thought patterns loose, Shifting perspective a little bit. One more time here. Sinking back into child's pose. And then coming back up, sitting back on the heels. I'm just going to turn around so you can see me a little bit better from the front. And sitting back on the heels here. And then the hands interlace behind the back. Draw them down towards the earth. Sending the gaze up. Gaze comes forward. And we bring the fist to the outside of the right hip in the waist here. And drop that right ear towards the right shoulder. The right shoulder is relaxed. The neck on the left side is long. Inhale, draw the fists down behind you on the floor, sending the gaze up. Gaze comes forward, and then this time the fists come over to the left hip. Left ear to the left shoulder, the shoulder is relaxed. Bringing the hands back behind, opening the arms, and then bringing the arms out in front, placing the hands on the floor. And then come a moment, lift up onto your knees, and tuck the toes under behind. We're sitting back on our heels, but this time the toes are tucked under, so we're activating this part of the feet a little bit, not the toes. Reaching the arms out in front, making fists, and then spreading the fingers wide and open, making fists going a little faster, really with a lot of energy here. Waking up our finger joints, working them out a little bit. Reaching the arms up overhead, keeping opening and closing. Arms come out to the side. Down to the front. One more time up. Side. And down, and just shake them out a little bit. And this time, we untap the toes. Spread the fingers, tapping the tops of the feet a little bit on the floor here. And then we're staying up like this on our shins. We're coming through a few rounds of breath of joy to activating a little bit the breathing and getting a little bit of that belly breathing going. So breath of joy is we're going inhale through the nose, in, and then exhale. Arms back behind, rising up, in. One more time. Two more. And then rising up all the way, reaching the arms up and open, looking up for a moment. And bring the hands back to the hips. I'm just turning around so you can see me sideways. Here we're tucking the toes under once more, but we're not sitting back. And bring the hands to the low back, fingertips pointing down. We're rooting down through the toes, through the knees. And as you inhale, lift the spine long, reach through the crown of the head, draw the shoulder and the elbows back, and send the gaze up. So we have length in the spine as we're coming into a heart opener here. We're not compromising the low back. And coming back, sending the gaze forward, coming back to neutral. And then from here, we're leaving the right hand on the low back. As we inhale, we reach the left arm up. On the exhale, we draw it back behind, looking back behind us, and then maybe bringing the fingertips to the left heel, or maybe the fingers are up in the air. Inhaling, we come back around. Exhale, left hand on the low sacrum. Inhale, right arm reaches up. Exhale, drawing it back and reaching for the right heel. Inhaling back up. Exhale, back hand down. And one more time on the left side. Inhale, reaching the arm up. Exhale, back, sinking back. Sort of like a half mini camel here. Inhale, reaching the arm up, and exhale, left hand on the low sacrum. Right arm up. Exhale, right arm back on the heel. Inhaling, reaching the arm up. And exhaling, hands to the sacrum. Here we reach the hands out long to the front, crossing the right arm over the left. Finding eagle arms, Garudasana. Draw the elbows away and up. So your shoulder blades are sliding out to the side. There's space between your shoulder blades. Inhale, draw them up a little bit, and then on the exhale, just kind of bend forward, bringing the hands to the mat, curling in. Inhale, rising back up, drawing the elbows up and away. Opening the arms wide, and then crossing the other way, left arm over right, finding eagle here, elbows draw up and away. Look up, exhale, curl in, bring the elbows to the knees. Inhale, rising up, and then spreading the arms wide one more time. Hands come onto the mat. Toes are tucked. We lift the knees a little bit, hovering them a few inches over the mat here, rocking the weight forward, back to the heels. One more time, shifting the weight over the hands, back to the heels, but staying low here. Now we're activating the center of our body a little bit. And then sending the hips high, legs are long. Find your first downward facing dog of this practice and come to stillness here. Let's just try to resist to walking the dog immediately. Find some length, find some stillness. Breathing evenly. One more time, drawing the breath in through the palms of the hands and through the soles of the feet. Washing the breath along the back body, and then exhaling it out into the earth. And look forward. Walk the hands a little bit more forward. The toes, the thumbs come to touch. Sending the gaze forward. Inhale, lift the right leg up. We bend the right knee and then press the sole of the foot towards the front. Inhaling. Exhaling, looking towards the mat, lowering the right foot down. And switching sides, inhale, lifting the left, bending, looking forward, and then pressing the ball of the foot towards the front. Straightening the leg, relaxing the neck, looking down. We begin to walk the feet forward a little bit, as wide as the mat. Now bring the thighs about parallel to the mat. Fingertips are on the earth. So we inhale, we look up. So we exhale, we curl in, draw the belly button in, draw the chin to the chest. A little bit of a cat-cow motion here. Getting a little bit of a fire going in the legs. And practicing here as that fire in our legs is going, how can I learn to be okay with what is? Find a new perspective. Reach the arms out wide to the side and just shimmy your weight a little bit from right to left here. My palms are facing the earth, but you can also draw them up. Reaching up for the sky, shifting the weight a little bit, left to right.
And bring the hands down, straighten the legs, folding over, finding opposite elbows, maybe swaying from side to side here a little bit. Release the hands back onto the mat. Take the legs a little bit wider and the feet are turning out to the side, bending into the knees one more time, onto the fingertips. Inhale, we look up. Exhale, we round and curl in. Keep going here a few times. Follow the guidance of your breath. And here as well, lifting, reaching the arms out to the side again. Maybe swaying a little bit from side to side. You can reach the arms forward, keeping them swaying. Find some stillness here. Relaxing the jaw, breathing. Use your breath. Hands to the mat, straighten the legs, turn the toes forward, folding in here for a moment. We walk the feet in to the center of the mat. I'll just turn around so you can see me. Soften the knees, root down, inhale, rise up, reach the arms up overhead. And palms come to touch and down to the heart. We interlace the hands, turn the palms facing out, inhale, reaching up. Exhale, turning the palms facing yourself, drawing the hands down, rounding. Inhale, opening up, and exhale, rounding. Few times here. And reaching up and bending over to the right side. Creating a little bit more length. Maybe bending a little bit deeper. Inhale back to center, and on the exhale, bending to the left. Again, always finding length. And maybe bending a bit deeper. And how we rise back up, letting go of the interlace of the hands. And on the exhale, bring the hands down through the midline, folding forward. And how we lift halfway, fingertips on the shins, reaching the crown of the head forward, the tailbone back. And then you stay here for a moment. Draw the shoulder blades together, relax the shoulders away from the ears, and reach the arms forward. Shift the weight forward into the toes and the balls of the feet, but keep the heels on the ground. Draw the hands back behind. Keep leaning forward. Left hand stays back. On the inhale, the right arm reaches forward. A little bit of a super goal pose here. Inhale, switching sides. One more time, each side. How far can we reach to the front and the back simultaneously? How long can we get? How much space can we create? And in that space, maybe finding some new opportunities, some new perspective. Both hands reach forward. And then folding over the legs one more time. Hands on the mat. We step back to our first high plank. Adjusting here for a moment, spreading the fingers wide. Shift your weight into the mound of your index finger and your thumb. On your toes, the toes are activated, the core is strong. We're just rocking back and forth a little bit. Relaxing the jaw, relaxing the neck and the shoulders. And then your way, either knees, chest, chin, or lowering down all the way, hugging the elbows in, uncurling the toes. Inhale, we rise up to a cobra, energetically drawing the elbows and the heels of the hands back. Exhale, lower down, the arms come alongside the body. Inhale, we lift to Shalabhasana, upper body, arms, feet lift. Holding, lowering down, hands under the shoulders, tucking the toes. Inhale, sending the hips back to the heels, come up to downward facing dog. In our downward facing dog, we take the feet really wide. Inhale, come onto your toes. On the exhale, spin the heels down to the left side, pressing the right hand into the mat. Inhaling back to center, and then exhaling, heels down to the right. The left hand roots down into the ground. Inhaling onto the toes. Exhaling, heels heavy towards the mat. And inhale, lift the right leg. On the exhale, bring it through between the hands. We lower the left knee down. If you have a book or a block nearby, find that in your right hand. We rise up, and I'm just going to place that block or book down here. If you don't have one, you just take your right hand on your right hip. Otherwise, you have your right hand on that block. Inhale, the left arm reaches up. Just lean over to the right side. Inhaling, we rise. Hands to the mat. Lifting the back knee, lifting the left leg high, standing needle. Inhale, and on the exhale, bend the left knee, bring the left knee next to the right. And then here, we're opening the left knee out to the side, bringing the leg up and back around knee to knee. So we're drawing some circles here. With that leg opening, that hip flexor, that hip joint. Circling it out, up, and around. Placing the left foot down next to the right, folding forward. And as you inhale, stepping the right leg back, lowering the right knee down. Once more, if you have a block or book, bring it to the outside of the left leg, rising up. Hand can be on the block, on the left hip. Inhale, right arm rises, and on the exhale, lean over, reaching over to the left, reaching long through the right arm, through the fingertips. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, hands on the mat, shifting the weight forward, lifting the back knee, lifting the right knee, leg, needle. Bring the right knee next to the left, and then inhale, opening the knee out, leg up and around. Drawing our big, big, big circles here. And then that right leg steps back, hands to the mat. We find high plank here one more time. And here in our plank, we just let the heels drop to the left, over the toes back to center, and then to the right. So we're letting the heels drop from side to side here. Finding center, shifting the weight forward, lowering down your weight. Inhale, lifting up into cobra. Exhale, lower down, and then bring the hands, the fingertips out to the side and forward a little bit. Inhale, lift up one more time. So we have a bit more space here. Then look over the left shoulder. And bend that left leg. Look at that heel. Lowering the leg down, looking forward. And over the right shoulder, bending the right knee. Back down. Inhale, lifting a little higher. Exhale, we lower down, hands on the shoulders, tucking the toes under. And coming back, hips to the heels and up to downward facing dog. Heels go heavy here. Inhale, lift the right leg. On the exhale, bring the right knee to the outside of the right elbow. Inhale, send it back up. And on the exhale, cross it diagonal, knee to the left elbow. Inhale, back up. And then step the foot through between the hands. Rising up to high crescent lunge. And then here we're going to hook the fingers overhead. Inhale, look up, and on the exhale, right arm draws the left arm over to the right side, leaning over to the right, looking down onto the floor. Inhale, draw back up, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands to the mat. Shift the weight forward, lift the left leg high. Inhale, on the exhale, bring the knee in. Bend the standing knee as well. Crunch down really low, forehead to the knee. On the inhale, we step the left leg back, rising up to high crescent lunge. Exhale, hands to the floor. Bringing the knee in, crouching down. Keep going here a few more times, stepping the left leg back. Inhale, high crescent lunge. Exhale, hands to the mat. Crouching in. One more time, high crescent lunge. And draw the elbows to the waist. Inhale, reaching the arms high. Exhale, hands frame the front foot. Stepping back to high plank. And here in our high plank, you can stay here. And you can lift your right hand, gently tap the left shoulder. And doing it on the other side. Just going back and forth here a few times. Finding high plank, lowering down your weight. Bring the fingertips out wide one more time. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, looking over the left shoulder, bending the left knee. Back to center on the inhale, and over to the right. Inhaling, lifting up. Exhale, lower down, hands on the shoulders. Tucking the toes and finding your way to downward facing dog. On the inhale, the left leg lifts long. On the exhale, bring the left knee to the outside of the left elbow. Inhale, send it high. Exhale, it crosses over to the right elbow. Inhale, send it long. On the exhale, step it through between the hands. Rising up to high crescent lunge. Stabilizing here for a moment, drawing the left hip back and the right hip forward. The fingers hook overhead. Draw the hands back a little bit. And then leaning over to the left. A gentle pull that right hand so we reach into, lengthen the right side body. Inhaling, coming up back to center, reaching the arms long overhead. Exhale, hands to the mat. Shifting the weight into the front foot, sending the right leg long. And then bringing the knee next to knee, crouching down low. On the inhale, we step the right foot back, rising up. High crescent lunge. Exhale, hands to the mat. Crouching in. And keep going here. Finding your own rhythm. And your breath be your guide. One more time. Stepping the hands, placing the hands back down, stepping the foot back, finding high plank here, holding, lowering down. Hands come alongside the body, and inhale, we rise up to Shalabhasana. And here you can stay here, reaching the arms back, or you can bring the arms out forward. The neck is long. Inhale, exhaling, lowering the forehead to the mat, hands on the shoulders. Tuck the toes under, send the hips back to the heels. Take a moment in child's pose. Washing the breath along the back side of the body. And inhale, we rise back up to downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the right leg long, and then bend the knee and open the hip up, pressing the right foot back behind. You can stay here. If you like to flip the dog, bring the right foot down behind, reaching, rolling onto the outer edge of that left leg, reaching the right arm long overhead and to the front. Making sure we don't collapse into that left shoulder. There's a lot of space between the shoulder and the ear. And then we bring that right hand back around, lifting the right leg up to the sky, and then step it through between the hands. Turn the left heel down onto the mat, and then we cartwheel the arms up, landing in Warrior Two. This is where my computer froze last time. Maybe it's not happening this time. And here, turn palms forward, the thumbs are. Just turn, rotate the arms so that the thumbs rotate down and up. As you're doing that, reconnect with your feet pressing into the outer edge of that left leg a little more. We reach the arms overhead, and then here, you can't see that, I bring the hands down. We hook the thumbs, reaching the arms up. As we inhale, we lean back a little bit, and as we exhale, we draw the belly button in, curl the chin in, strong through the legs. Inhale, looking up, and exhale, curling in. We reach up straight and lean back towards that left straight leg. Inhaling back to center. And on the exhale, we lean and reach to the right. Keep going here. Inhaling, lengthening in the center, and then on the exhale, out of that length, lean to one side. To the other side. Here we hold. We bring that right forearm either down on the right thigh, or you can bring that right hand down to the mat, reaching the left arm long. And then here you come down, you bring both hands to the inside of that right foot. And I'm just gonna switch sides real quick so you can see me, but you stay where you are. Then you place your left hand forward really wide. Bring the right hand to the right hip. And then we just turn all the toes over to the right, so you're rolling onto the outer edge of that left leg. Heel toe that right foot in towards the center of the mat. Let that hip hang a little bit lower, but it's still hovering. And then just reach that right arm out, rest it on the knee. You can stay here, making sure you have space between your left ear and your left shoulder. Or you can inhale and reach the arm up and overhead, lift the hip up a little bit. And the exhale, lower back down, reaching back. One more time, inhale. Reaching one. And exhale, sending it back. Reaching one. Sending it back. And then you bring hands back around, rising up all the way. I just turn around so we find a wide-legged forward fold on the mat. Toes are facing forward. Just folding down here for a moment and then lifting back up halfway. Fingertips are on the mat. Turn your toes out about 20 degree-ish. And we sink into that right knee. Lean towards the right a little bit. Inhaling, we come through center, straighten that leg, and then on the exhale, sinking into the left knee. Through the center, go from side to side here a little bit. Coming back to center, turning around to the front of the mat one more time, stepping that right foot back, finding high plank. You can go straight to downward facing dog or go to a flow of your choice. Meeting in downward facing dog, resetting. So inhale, we lift the left leg, bending the knee, and then opening that left hip up, drawing that heel back behind us. And your choice, you can stay here or take the flip, bringing that right foot down behind you, coming onto the outer edge of that right leg, reaching the left arm long overhead. Creating space between your right shoulder and your right ear. Bringing the left hand back down around, lifting the left leg long, and stepping it through between the hands. Spinning the right heel down, and cartwheeling the arms up, finding warrior two on this side. And here one more time, you can engage, rotating the entire arms a little bit, spreading the fingers wide. Then once more, finding the hook of the thumbs. Maybe this time we hook the other way, reaching the arms long. Inhale, send the gaze up, send the heart up. Exhale, curl it. Sink into that front knee a little more. And pressing out through the upper edge of the right leg. Inhale, reaching the arms up, and then on the exhale, leaning over to the right, to the back leg. Inhale, center. Exhale, leaning to the left. Center. To the right. And left. When we stay here, bring that left forearm down onto the left thigh, reaching the right arm long overhead. We'll bring the left hand down to the inside of that left foot. Reaching. Then we bring both hands to the inside of that left leg. Here we step that right hand to the front. Bring the left hand on the left hip and then just heel toe the left foot to the center and turn onto the outer edge of that right foot. Yeah, the hips hover, but they're hanging low a little bit. We can reach that left arm long, resting it here on the left knee, a little bit of a Roman pose here. And you can stay here, or on the inhale, lift the left arm high, lift the hips high. Exhale, bring the hips down, send the leg long, the arm long. Reaching overhead, lowering, reaching back behind. One more time. Back behind. Then we turn it back around. And then working your way into, one more time, a wide-legged forward fold. I just turn around. Toes are facing forward. This time, find the outside of your ankles with your hands. Inhale, lift up. Halfway, and then on the exhale, draw yourself a little closer to your legs. And bring the Fingertips back onto the mat, turning the toes slightly out, bending the knees here. And then bring the arms out wide to the side. Bending into that left knee, straightening the right leg. The right hand reaches for that right foot, the left hand reaches diagonal up. Bring the hands to the heart. Come through the center and then switch sides. Left leg is long, bending into the right knee. The arms reach diagonal. Go back and forth here a few times. You can always also have the fingertips on the mat. Don't need to use your arms here. Do this free-handed. It's just an option. And then bring the hands to the mat, turn the toes forward, holding in one more time here. Shaking the head loose, yes and no. And turn around to the front one more time. And just bringing that left knee down, sitting down. I'm finding a seat on the mat. I'm just going to turn around so you can see me a little bit here. We're swinging the knees, the legs around. And we come onto the toes, we bring the knees out wide and then sit back one more time on the heels here. So as we did in the beginning, but this time we have the knees out wide. And then we bring that right hand, the fingertips down to the earth. Inhale, reaching the left arm long, reach really high, keeping that length. And then bend it over to the right, bending a little bit into the right elbow here, reaching the left arm long. Inhale, draw yourself back up. Then the left hand comes down on the mat. Inhale, the right arm reaches high and long. Exhale, draw it over. Inhale, coming back long. Hands come to the floor. Untap the toes. Now we swing, sit down, bringing the legs around to the front. Keep the left knee bent, and I just reach the right leg long. The left sole of the foot finds the inside of the left thigh. And then here, I'm gonna use a block and place it, or a book and place it on the inside of my right leg. And I send my palm facing up. I'm just sending my forearm down onto the block. And then reach the left arm long to the left side. And bring the left hand to your low sacrum. Draw that left shoulder open. You can lean a little more towards that right leg. You can also place that right hand into the left hand into the left hip crease. That gives you more of an opening in the shoulder. And inhale, coming back up. And then we keep the left leg bent and we just bring the right leg long. The hands are outside the hips. Inhale, we reach tall, but we keep the grounding through the hips. On the exhale, we lean forward, reaching for the right foot and folding over that right leg. Every inhale, reach a little bit more through the crown of the head. Reach a little bit longer through your spine. Every exhale, maybe bend a little deeper. There's no goal in touching the leg with the nose or the forehead. It's more important to find length and grounding. And how we slowly rise back up. And then we bring that right knee, bending the leg at the knee. So we bring the right heel towards the right hip. And take a moment here and adjust so we sort of have grounding with both hips. As we inhale, We reach the arms up and then we turn over to the right. The left hand comes down diagonal across. And the right hand finds the floor behind us. Sit up a little taller. And on the exhale, look over to your right shoulder behind you. And then keeping the body where it is, but turning the head and looking over to your left knee to the left side. And maybe leaning that way a little bit as well. Coming back to the center, and then we just find a counter stretch here. Right hand on the left knee. Left hand is behind us on the floor. Come back to the front, and then we switch sides. So this time the right leg bends, the left leg is out long to the side. Again, I'm placing a block here, resting my left forearm on that block, palm facing up. Inhale, I reach that right arm out to the side, reaching. And then bring it down back onto the low sacrum, draw that right shoulder back, leaning towards the left leg a little bit. Or again, once more, you can maybe place that right hand into the right hip crease, rotate that thigh out a little bit, and maybe that gives you a bit more room for your right shoulder to open. And rising back up. And just bring the left leg to the front. Hands next to the hips. Inhale, sitting up tall. On the exhale, the sternum leads forward, reaching forward. And the hands reach out. Maybe they reach the foot, maybe they reach the leg somewhere. Making sure both hips are grounded down. We create space and length. Inhale, we rise back up. And then here we bend the left leg and bring the left heel to the left hip. Again, taking a moment to adjust and see if we can bring that left hip a little closer to the ground. Inhale, reach both arms up. Turn over to the left and the right arm comes diagonal across. Right hand comes down to the outside of the left leg and the left hand comes down behind you on the floor. Inhale, sit up tall. And then exhale, drawing a little deeper over to the left shoulder. And staying here and slowly turning the gaze, the head over to the right. Leaning a little bit away to the right side. Keeping that left hip grounded, keeping the left hand grounded behind. Inhale, coming back to the center and just finding a quick counter twist here. And from here, we swing the legs around. Placing the feet on the mat and hands behind the thighs, and just find lower your way self all the way down onto the mat. And then take a last movement with your legs. Maybe you just want to reach them up towards the ceiling for a moment. Maybe you want to find happy baby. If your legs are long towards the ceiling, draw some circles with your feet one way, and the other way. Flexing and pointing, and then eventually lowering yourself out all the way along the mat, taking props you need, maybe a blanket, maybe you need to wear a sweater. Take a moment to just getting yourself comfortable on the mat. Taking a full exhale, all the breath out. And just noticing the ebb and flow of your inhalation and your exhalation. Taking a scan from head to toes. Relaxing the muscles in your face. Parting the teeth. A little smile around the eyes. Soften the shoulders, let them sink into the earth. Feel the arms getting heavy and the fingers relax. Maybe the palms are drawn open towards the sky. Any holding in the hips, release. Legs melt into the ground. And allow your breath to draw in a little deeper. Bringing movement back into the body, maybe gently rolling the head from side to side, wiggling toes, wiggling hands. Reaching the arms out overhead, stretching really long. Rolling over onto your favorite side. You can keep the eyes closed, coming up all the way to a seat, sitting up tall. And more turning inward to just being with yourself right here. Feel the earth supporting you below. Feeling the limitless sky above. Everything's possible. Just going through a couple of rounds of Hari Om, the remover of all suffering. Om Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om. Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om. One more time. Om together at the heart center, resting the thumbs into the sternum. And lifting the hands up to the third eye center. Being present in the moment with your thoughts. Bringing the hands down to the lips for being present in the moment with your words, and back to the heart. Presence in the moment with all of your actions. Peace, love, and light to you. Thank you so much.